Hi everybody! If you're new to using video for your business but you want to get into it slowly, then both Instagram Reels as well as Stories are a great place to start for newbie entrepreneurs in particular. Stick around for today's video where I explain the key differences between both of them so that you can decide which you should start with first. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz and I release videos every Tuesday talking about how you can incorporate video into your new business. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you never miss any of my future content on this topic. Now, Instagram Reels have become all the rage, at least in the last 1 year, especially as the head of Instagram recently said that this platform is no longer just for sharing photos. We get all the indications all over the marketing world that video marketing is absolutely the way to go. But what if you're new to using video or you're not so comfortable on camera, but you still want to make use of these new platforms? So then one thing that you consider is either using Instagram Reels or you can try using Stories, which are available on many other social platforms as well, like LinkedIn and Facebook, so that you can put out more video content but just ease your way into it slowly. So today we're talking about the key differences between using both Instagram Reels as well as Stories for any platform so that you can make a decision as to which you are most comfortable with starting with. Let's get right into it. Now, one really handy thing about Stories is that the story length of 15 or 20 seconds is generally manageable for everybody. So even if you are someone who is not so comfortable speaking to the camera and you don't have a lot of experience with using video, generally we could all agree that 15 to 20 seconds would be considered manageable. So it is a really great place for newbie video creators to start out. So let's talk about some of the scenarios where you might want to use Stories. You can use Stories when you want to give your followers a really unpolished, authentic, behind-the-scenes glimpse into your life or into your business. So the great thing about this short-form content is that since it's not sitting in your actual social media feed for years and years and years, you can use it just to show people in general what you are doing behind the scenes with your business and to also build that connection and trust with them. People always love to see who is the face behind the account, who is the owner of the business, who are the people involved that are actually running this business and releasing the product. So Stories are a great way to do that. I often post to my Stories about things that I'm doing in my life, things that I'm interested in, some behind the scenes of some of the projects I'm working on, a little glimpse about things that are coming up in the future, tips and tricks about things that my audience would care about. All of these things only stay on the platform for 24 hours. So people get a quick snapshot and a direct look at what you are working on and what you are about as a person. And it really helps to build that know, like, and trust factor. Another reason you might want to use Stories is so that you can continue to drive engagement with your followers. The thing about Stories is that you can usually add other features to it because those platforms want you to actively use them. For example, you can paste a poll there so that you can ask your audience certain questions and get feedback from them about what they prefer or what they don't prefer. You can post quizzes, you can put in a question box so that you can ask a question to your audience and see what type of responses they give back to you. This can be really valuable for market research and just to keep generally connected with your audience. So the thing about Instagram Reels is that really you can just put out a reel and then it's kind of like one-way traffic. But with the Story, all of these features and additional stickers and things that you can add to an actual story allow you to connect with your audience and then give the audience an opportunity to connect back with you. Another great reason to use a Story is if you want to announce any time-sensitive information. Like if you have a sale or something coming up in the next 24 hours, or something that's releasing later on this evening, or just a special announcement you want to make, or if you want to add a sticker with a countdown timer so that people can be in anticipation of something, Stories allow you to do all of this. People can log on, see your story, and know that in the next 24 hours something is coming up, which helps to just create anticipation about your product and service. One of the best reasons to use Stories is to remain accessible to your audience. So what does this mean? Now, the thing about Reels is that the only way that someone can actually see your Instagram Reel is if they go to your profile and look for it, or if it just happens to come up on the general Explore page. However, the thing about Stories is that all of your followers will get a small notification at the top of their Instagram page or their Facebook page if you have posted a new story, which means that when you regularly post to Stories, your name and your brand name will remain top of mind because your followers will always have that little indication there. So that's a really great way for your brand not to be forgotten, which is why I actively recommend that people try to keep up with stories and post at least a minimum of once a day to your stories. The other thing is that every single time you post a new story, again, that little indicator at the top of their phone is going to indicate to them that there's a new story there, which again continues to remind them to have a look, stay connected, and be engaged with your brand. Now let's talk about some of the scenarios in which you would want to use Instagram Reels. Now you'll notice, of course, that Reels are very, very similar to TikTok in the sense that if you post something there, it has the potential to be seen by thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. Of course, your quality content has to be good and it has to be appealing to your audience in the first place. However, Reels are known for being one of the pieces of short form content that you can create that has the best organic reach. Instagram will really do their best to push out your reel to as many people as possible, just to encourage you to keep using that platform. So one of the reasons you might want to use Reels is if you want to put your content in front of new eyes. You will notice that if you post a reel, within minutes it can be seen by hundreds and thousands of people, none of which were probably your previous followers. So it is a really great way to get in front of a new audience altogether and have them see what your content is. Now another reason to use Reels is because those videos in fact have a long shelf life and continue to give you opportunities to have people look at your account. So the thing about Instagram is that they will continue to push out your Reels to new users and to new audiences even long after you create it. If you create a reel today and you notice that it's picking up traction over the next couple days, you might also notice that it just fades off into the sunset after a couple days. However, there is a great possibility that in a couple of weeks, again, that reel will continue to pick up some traction, which means that in fact, all of the reels that are sitting on your profile have opportunities to continue to get visibility long after you create them. So they continue to work for you even though you've only put in the work to create them the one time. Now, another key reason why you might want to consider Reels is so that you can take up the opportunity to be featured on hashtag pages. Now, previously, many of us used to put hashtags on our stories too, but it's long been proven that in fact, any of the hashtags that you use on your stories are not actually showing up anywhere. On the other hand, using a strong hashtag strategy for your Reels is really going to help to get your reel in front of new audiences. Not only that, but your reel is going to take up the most amount of space on the featured hashtag pages. And it'll stay there for a couple of days, in fact, and sometimes it'll just autoplay when people are checking those hashtags, so you have even more ways to be seen by new audiences, even days after the fact. Last but not least, one of the greatest features about Reels is that you can save them and share them, unlike with stories. In order to actually share or save a story, you would have to go through so many steps that most people don't even bother because it's so cumbersome. On the other hand, if you post a reel that somebody really likes, it's as easy for them to save it as just clicking the little bookmark icon in the corner. Or if they want to share that, they can also easily do that. The Instagram algorithm loves when people share and save your stuff because it indicates to them that you've created such good content that people actually want to send it out to the world or to keep it for themselves to reference later. These are both really, really great triggers for Instagram, and then they will continue to push out your content to a greater audience. Now, of course, my recommendation is that you in fact use both Reels and Instagram. However, there are different scenarios and there are different features for both that will allow you to pick one over the other depending on what day it is. So what I would recommend that you do is try to get started with using stories, since you can just create them in 15 seconds. Once you build up your camera confidence and you get a sense of how this platform actually works, then try to graduate onto Reels. As you just watch some Reels in general and see what are the types of Reels that really do well, what are the types of things that people like to engage with, what do you like, what do you not like, get a feel for how that system works, and then start putting out Reels simultaneously. You will notice that both of these things together really add to developing your video strategy altogether as a new entrepreneur. So if you like this video, make sure that you give it a like and to share it off with one of your friends who could use some help deciding between stories or Reels. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you never miss any of my future videos on this topic. So if you're considering using video more for your business and you want to get more comfortable on camera so that you can speak comfortably and then put out videos easily without too much pain and trouble behind it, make sure that you check out the link in the description below for a free resource that I'll send you so that you can get started right away. Until next time, take care.